What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Garage Mind, where we talk real life, real stories, and everything in between. Today, this one's a little close to me. It's a little personal. We're out here on the picket line. Um, we're talking ULPs, and we recently negotiated the contract, and we found out that they were more interested in the money we can make for them, but not our lives. When I say our lives, I'm talking family time, injuries, everything like that. So I'm talking to my friends today that are very close to this. I have Brian Hill and Del Schaefer with Teamsters 710. So what's going on, guys?
What's happening?
What's up?
What's going on? So we're like I said, I talked to Eddie the other day, and that's spelled Heri, by the way. It's not the typical way. And this, like I said, it's a little personal. And what is negotiating for these contracts mean to you?
Well, the one thing that I think is when I sit down to negotiate with the negotiating team, you have all these people's lives in your hands, and you try to
Absolutely.
get them the best deal you possibly can. Um, and the company is going to try to get the best deal for them. And you sat there, you saw how hard we worked to try to get whatever we could to make you guys have better lives. I think
Absolutely.
that the worst part of this is after everything we did, we had it there, and then they kind of pulled the rug out from underneath us for a 50 cents. Basically, 50 cents is what they pulled the rug out from underneath us and took away your guys' rights to do what you needed to do to protect everybody else that's standing out here with us. So that was kind of the epitome of breakthrough, I think. And I don't mean to talk bad about breakthrough because hopefully all you guys will go back and work for them. Luckily, I don't have to work for them, but uh,
He
it'll.
worked for a company we shall not name.
I used to work for a company we shall not name,
The
but
other company.
the fact is, uh, they they don't treat you guys the way they should, and we see the difference in Southern Wine took us 5 days, 5 negotiating sessions. We were on number 17, and we still were apart on a lot of things.
And things, just for reference for everybody listening, things that should be common knowledge, would you say, should be no problem, should be things everybody should want to give people that make them the money that they have. And that's the part that stuck with me through this whole thing, that I personally thought, like, we are the face of the company. We're out there every day. We make their customers happy, that they're not very happy with them as well. And we keep the morale good. And people like Brian too have to talk to the guys every day and explain to them, why they were why they were wronged, and get their rights, take them to, and I'm forgetting the word here. Uh, the grievances, take them to grievances panels, and get the justice. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this episode too, because Del, you are the president of 710, and I've gotten to know you now, and I know you're one of us, and you feel our pain, and you went through this as well with another company, and it's tough because now we're out here and affecting our families even more, and nobody wanted this, and you explained that to them very clearly, that you didn't want to give them 116 problems, and
And we didn't want to stand over here. We, as a committee, said this probably, I couldn't even tell you how many, 15, 20 times.
every meeting.
We do not want to go on strike. We want to get a deal. And they listened. I don't think they took it to heart. And they did what they did. As far as you guys and the customers and I know that I've talked to many drivers out here over the last 2 weeks, and every driver feels the same way about their customer. They love their customers. They go to the ends of the earth for their customer, and they feel the pain of their customers calling them and asking them, "When are you going to be here? I haven't got a liquor delivery in a week. I need my liquor. Can you help me in any way?" And our drivers are upset. They want the public to get what they need. Like, this weekend is the Cubs Sox, and without alcohol in that facility, it's gonna
I
it's
have a
gonna go
problem.
poorly.
Yep. Um, so the other thought to it, all right, I got a little difficulty. It's we're doing the mobile audio here, so it's a little hard. We had some camera overheat. So let's get back to it. So just to give the listeners, just to give you guys, you know a little bit about what I do already. We've talked about it before, and just stuff that we've been dealing with. I brought Brian Hill on board here for this one as well. He's our steward. Has also become a friend of mine as well. But I've never seen passion like his. Sometimes a little too passionate, but we need that. And he's had a lot of time in this industry, and try to explain to them, what they're doing to us now, because little insight, we have new management, corporate, and the local level as well, and they just don't understand what what it's doing to us. The long hours, not enough time turnaround, going over DOT hours, stuff like that, working condition stuff. That's how we started the ULP. And Brian, you want to talk about your time here and how it's changed from what it is now?
Well, I started in '03. This would be my 23rd year, and it's definitely changed. But overall, the industry has changed as far as like people coming and going. I've seen a lot of people come, I've seen a lot of people go. I just, where we're at in the building now, I don't think anybody really, they don't care. Don't care. I'm sure the membership has heard me say, it's cases over employees. Just get the cases out. We don't matter. We're treated as robots, not human beings. And it frustrates me because there's, 115, 116, drivers here that myself, the union, they put a lot of time and effort into making sure we're okay. Um, and they sit across the table from us and act like we don't matter. And that's very frustrating to me. The funny saying between us here is that Brian to be brief.
Yeah,
Well, I get going because there's so much to say to these.
you're passionate. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
there's
that.
so much to say to these people that they don't listen. So once I start going, it's hard to stop because they don't listen. Um, we didn't cause this. We didn't want this, as Dell said earlier. We didn't want this. We we thought we had something. I was telling the membership, hey, whatever date it was, we had so many dates. But one of the dates, like when we thought we were going to wrap things up, I told everybody, hey, we're going to walk in. Hopefully, we have something to bring back for you guys to look at and vote. We felt as a committee and as I'm sure Dell will agree, as the president, we thought we were going to have something. And the day we walked in, they yanked it from us. Our president, which I respect, immensely, looked at him and said, "Hey, don't leave. Don't leave. We want to talk about this. I'm urging you not to leave." And they left. They didn't do it once, they did it twice. So, yeah, it affects all of us. Like I said, we have 100, 100 plus guys standing out here fighting for
All
the,
of us too.
yeah,
Nobody
fight.
nobody crossed the line either, which
Yeah.
is shows a lot.
Um,
Very, very proud of this group. Um, Eating better than I ever ate
A
on
lot
the
of
picket
grilling going
line.
on.
A lot of grilling. We had some jerk chicken today with some rice.
That was good.
It was
That was
good.
good.
Uh,
Not better than my rice, but
I
good.
didn't say that,
It
but it,
was
but
good.
AKA
but it was
Tony
good.
Carpets.
But we have a lot of camaraderie. I think that the group is good. I think that the the enhanced strike benefits from the IBT are helping make it a little less painful to sit out here. So we always shout out to the IBT for those enhanced benefits for our
A-
Absolutely.
members,
Thank you.
Absolutely.
and we hope that this doesn't go long. We have a lot of things that are moving for us, and we will persevere. We are going to win this, and we are going to move in and come back to work, and we're going to keep delivering liquor for breakthrough.
And something I want to touch on real quick that I was just thinking about is, for anybody listening who doesn't really understand what a union is, I've been blessed to be a part of a union ever since I started working. Um, but they're people that have lives just like me and you. They go to work, they have families, they work for us every day. And I had the chance being on, the committee to see that in action. And one thing Dell said that kind of, it kind of teared me up a little bit. And because we knew what was gonna, we knew towards the end what was gonna have to happen here, especially the day they pulled it on the table. And we knew that these guys have done it already, unfortunately, 4 years ago, or earlier, prior to this. And he said, I'm more upset for you guys because I couldn't get you a contract. And that kind of that got to me a little bit because he doesn't have to care as much as he does. It's not his family that's affected, but he does, and they care, and all the guys there, shout out to Gabe as well. I mean, they're missing time with their families, they're missing times with their grandchildren, and it just sucks because corporate greed has gotten so bad with these guys that they only see the money and they don't see the people behind it. And that's why I wanted to make this episode, and I wanted to talk to you too because I know, as a steward, Brian, you miss a lot of time with your family as well.
We all do.
It's
But
just
that's what part of being in the union is. We all do.
Without them, a lot of the things and the benefits and how good my family has gotten to live, I wouldn't have this. So, if you're in a union, you guys are blessed. If you're not, please seek out one because they will protect you and they will take care of you and they will fight for you. And now, Al, I just kind of wanted to get into, you worked for another company as well. You were a driver as well. How did this journey start? And, how do you feel about it? How far you come now?
I enjoyed working for that other company. I'll I'll say it. I worked for UPS.
I didn't want to say it unless you said it, so I was holding it back.
I worked for UPS for 30 years. I enjoyed that company. I was a steward for 20. So of course, I did what Brian did for 20 years. It was rewarding. Some days were a little harder than others.
It's
Uh,
facts.
and
I've seen
we
it.
it's the hardest job you'll ever love. Kind of like being a parent. And I say that as it is because sometimes you're their counselor, sometimes you're their bartender, sometimes you're the guy that is taking care of things that they don't really need to talk to you about, but you do, and it's very rewarding. From that point, I was asked to do this job as a business agent. Um, I was fine being a UPS driver. I actually turned them down a couple of times, telling them I didn't want to do it because I had young kids. Eventually, I did take it. Very rewarding job. Um, like being a steward, some days are better than others. Like everybody has the same problems working at Breakthrough. Some days are better than others. It's always you take the good with the bad. Uh, I have been blessed to do what I do. Uh, I do believe that meeting people on like you guys is a great reward. Meeting all these guys on the picket line, I've grown to be friends with a lot of them.
We got a good group.
You
You
do
got an
have a
interesting group too.
you do have a good group, and they are passionate, just like Brian is passionate. I think a lot of these guys here have that same passion, and they
Absolutely.
and they want to show Breakthrough that we're just not a number. We are people, and like you said, we used to say packages over people. You know, that's not the way it should be. We are. It should be people over packages. We should take care of our employees.
Absolutely. And to me that's a normal thought and that's easy. Take care of the take care of the people who make you the money. You know what I mean? And who keep the people happy. I mean, we're the day to day. Everybody sees us. They don't see them. They see us. And Brian, you touched on it a little earlier when we thought the last day, man, it was long. We got a what was looking like a good contract, something the guys would love as well because we are one of the guys, and they pulled it from us. And Brian, I've come closer to you over the years now, and it's like it's hard to see. You have to tell the guys that we got it. We're coming in, we're gonna bring it home, and then come back and have to explain to them how they walked out. So how does that feel? Like where was your mind at and the next day when you had to tell the guys that, they didn't want to close and they walked out on us?
Well, to be fair, I also before we walked into one of the last meetings where we thought we had something, I told everybody, and it's been a saying with all of us, know who you work for. These guys know who we work for. They're not good people. So I told them be very cautious. I'm optimistic. I want to be optimistic. You have to go into these things being optimistic.
You did.
Because if not, I don't think you'll ever achieve what you want to achieve. Some days it was harder than others. Like we were beat up, we were tired.
Long
But I
days.
yeah, but I told them, I said, listen, we could walk in there and they could yank all this from us. And sure enough, they did. But that also comes with, the 20 plus years of dealing with who we've dealt with. Um, until ink's on paper, it's sad. We can't trust them. And they showed their true colors. We thought we were going to be able to be working for them, and now the mindset is, you know what? We're going to stand out here. We're going to fight. We're going to fight and fight and fight. We have great backing from the IBT. We have great backing, unbelievable backing from 710. Um, at this point in time, my biggest fear is gaining about 40 pounds on this picket line from eating.
I
But
stress eat, so I'm right there too.
but I mean, we're a family, and this proves that we're a family.
I like that
We'll
word.
persevere, and when they're done playing games, the family will go back in and we'll clean it up for them. So we'll go in, we'll do what we've done for years: deliver breakthroughs, booze, and make sure it gets there in a safe, professional manner to our customers. We will do that, and whenever they're ready to let us come back and do that, we'll come back in and we'll clean it all up. We'll make the business run the way it's supposed to run. So, until then, you know, our fight is right here, and I believe we're going to persevere in that. Absolutely.
And can I touch on one thing?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Because I know Tony had said he'd been in a union for a long time, so everybody knows your background as a beer driver and
Yep.
being in a union. But I also want to make sure everybody knows that Tony's one of the lower guys on this pole, as far as
Seniority. And
Seniority. Yeah.
so
As Eddie would rhyme.
he knew that it was the betterment of everybody else, and
Yep.
he would say, "You know what? For everybody else, I might have to suffer a little bit until I get that seniority," and I appreciate that because you realize
Thank you.
one day I will get to that point where I'm the guy getting the good bid, and I get to go wherever I want to go. But for right now, I know I'm going to be,
For everybody, not for
Yep.
yourself. That's the thing I like too. And I actually I learned a little bit of that from Brian too, because some days, we have a big group and not everybody sees eye to eye all the time. It's we have 100 plus guys, like he said. And sometimes, some people don't agree with, the judgment calls you made, or don't see, eye to eye, as I said. And you got to keep in mind that everybody, especially with this situation, fear hits everybody differently, and it affects everybody differently and everybody acts on it differently. And you taught me to keep that in mind and not to, judge the person for that, or decide something just because you might not agree with them. And that was another thing that was hard for me to get over, but you opened my eyes up to that. And how is that when you deal with that personally, what does that look like when maybe, somewhere along the lines of Gabe with the routing, like he knows this is the way to a better way. And a lot of people may not see it. Like you said, on that point, I know that I maybe might not like it, but in the long run, it's going to take us to where we need to be.
and in 4 years, when we sit down again, hopefully this will be settled. We'll sit down again.
Get even
We'll get a
closer.
little better, and then you'll get a little better, and Eddie will get a little better.
Keep
Brian
chipping
will be
away.
gone, but
Yeah, he keeps reminding us. He says 2 years, 3 years, not going to happen.
Listen, I got a crew around me that's not letting me go. They keep telling me I got to stay here at least 4.
Not.
But these are all. Listen, they're all my brothers and sisters from this picket line down to the hall. I'm a teamster at the end of the day, and this is what we do. And as far as what Tony was saying, as far as like, people kind of like, I guess, like beating us up. Listen, if this was easy, everybody would do it. Frustration's gonna set in. Our job is to try to keep the frustration at a minimum. These guys have lives, as we've touched on before. They got to feed their families. They got bills. The bills don't stop because we're standing out here. They keep coming in. But with the help from the IBT, with the support from local 710, we're okay. We're gonna make it.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things going on, and you know, I told guys, they call me, they're frustrated. Call me, tell me you're frustrated. That's my part as a steward. That's Eddie's part as a steward. Juan's part as a steward. We signed up for this. Not, we don't get any extra pay. We don't get anything. Like, we're here because we care. Dell's here because he cares. Tony's sitting here because he cares. Anybody that was on that negotiating committee, the guys that are standing behind us, the 100 plus guys, they care, or they wouldn't be out here.
The hall as well. Every day, different
absolutely.
guys
Well, I
showing
mean,
support.
you guys know that Mike Kales, who's our secretary treasurer, and myself, Neil, who's the vice president, Ramirez, is the recording secretary, Bill Reams, Bob Downey, Jay. As soon as we sent out the email saying we want to cover the Cobra for breakthrough, it was back within 5 minutes. Yep, we'll cover the Cobra. We'll make sure these guys have insurance. Nobody bats an eye at that. I mean, because we have $5 million in a strike fund that we want to be able to help
Absolutely.
the members. And I think
Beautiful
I
thing.
think it's awesome that we have that and we can provide for these people who, by the way, have great spirits. Everybody on this line has great spirits. I haven't talked to one guy that is upset. I haven't talked to one person here who is upset. Yeah, they want to be at work, but they realize that they're doing the right thing. So I enjoy that. And, you know, I've made a lot of, like I said before, I've made a lot of friends on this picket line, and they've done awesome. This is one of the best picket lines you'll ever be on
Yep.
because everybody here is pulling for the other person.
Some interesting characters as well.
Yes.
For
Definitely
sure.
interesting.
But nobody, I don't feel that anybody is, oh my God, what's happening, this and that. We're
We're
eating,
informed.
we're talking, we're well informed. There's plan of actions, whatever that plan of actions may, they've been well executed, right? Like, we got a great team as far as executing a plan, right? We executed a hell of a plan last
Which
Tuesday.
Operation in the 19.
Yeah.
Bring them home and they don't know.
19 and the nuke button. Eddie and I couldn't wait to hit the nuke button.
Nice
right?
display.
Dell's saying, you got to wait. And Eddie and I are like, we want to hit the nuke button.
For those of you who don't know, they left, went on their routes, and then they came back at 9 o'clock and brought all their routes back.
Normal day. Not.
The reason that we could do that with liquor and we can't do it in other industries is because the product doesn't go bad sitting in a truck. Something that would be like a Cisco, they have refrigerated product. If we brought that back, we'd be sued. Breakthrough can't sue you for bringing
back their
bottles
liquor.
of Jack Daniels and Buffalo Trace, which
Sad day for us. We're bourbon.
We need to get them back to work.
Absolutely.
It's just, and as I feel, I'm going to say something like, as we sit out here and we, we're in good spirits in my life. Like, again, like, I'm sure everybody's sitting at this table and having this conversation. This isn't what we want to do, right? Like,
we have to
just because we're out here in good spirits and things, we want to go to work, right? Like, we'll go in here, we'll clean it up, we'll do our jobs as Teamsters do. We'll go in there and we'll fix the problems that they've caused. And they've had a lot of problems for what we're hearing.
Yeah, well, now we're seeing that.
I don't want to leave, this podcast and walk away with people thinking that we're just out here having a big party. We want to work. As soon as they want to talk and they want to come to a resolution of the problems that they created, we'll sit down and we'll
call him.
We'll go back to work. Call Dell. We'll go back to work. But this is on them.
Brian, you hit it too. Although this is fun meeting everybody and stuff and everybody, and it's very inspirational as well to see everybody together. And this is not exactly something to be happy about, but I want to give the hall their credit too. You guys, you said earlier you executed a plan perfectly, and you made all of us feel better. We feel better because of the hard work you and your team do, and we appreciate that. You guys, this is a hard thing to navigate, and you have 116 guys that now know what to do, and we feel better knowing that we have guys like you in the hall, and me as well. And thank you for that.
And real quick, I want to give
Uh-oh.
one of the best shout outs
Real quick.
to Karen.
I was just gonna say that too.
To Karen, I mean,
You're the best, little
yeah,
K.
Karen, little K, you're the best. Your hand, I mean, without you, it would have been a.
She doesn't like to be mentioned very often. She's a
Sorry.
behind the scenes person. So when I do, she'll cringe at this part, but we all know that we couldn't do our job without her.
Yeah, she has to have a shout out because she's a saint when it comes to getting stuff that we need and stuff done. Like unbelievable teamster herself. Like,
And all the agents have suspended everything
Are
and
here now.
basically show up, spent the
they absolutely 1,000,000% have stepped up and made sure we're a family.
Family, like I said earlier, that's the word you keep using, and that's 100% what it is. And it's crazy because all these people as well from the hall. This is our company has made it not only bad for us, but several other people as well. So it's like, that it's an unfair situation, but they come out here and they keep the morale up. I've met a bunch of guys now, from the hall, and they're just here to make sure we're good. And I mean, they're stepping away from their families too and giving up that time. And I think that, that's beautiful. You have an amazing team, Del, and I thank you guys for everything. I mean, it's just I've never seen a group of guys who get it done. That's the best way to put it.
Absolutely.
And
Well, it's easy with this group because this group has not been contentious. There's a lot of strikes when you're standing there, and half the guys didn't want to strike.
very
Half
hostile.
the did, and then you get into arguments. This group seemed to be united from the beginning. I've heard from so many people that have said, "Man, that was so great being able to drive my truck back in." I'm not going to say it's ideal. We probably wouldn't have done it with many other industries. But
You gave us a little sense
Yeah.
of
but with this industry and this uh, employer, it was kind of a no brainer. I don't want to say that badly because one day we're all going to be sitting back at the table, but the way they have treated you guys, the morale for this group was bad, and I know Brian said it probably 70 times during negotiations. The morale is terrible.
Brian never holds
They
back.
They don't see it, and they don't care. There's some people in that over on the other side that probably should get to know their employees a little better. Should probably get to know who they are, what they're about.
A box is a box.
And they would work harder for you. Happy workers are productive workers.
Funny you say that. Statistically, that's proven. A happy work environment creates the best numbers. It does.
I have never felt more of a rush or been like as a Teamster driving in and pulling on that air horn park on my truck that Tuesday. Like never.
I actually got goosebumps because
never in my
on the news that was my truck in there, and I told my wife, I was like, "That's me honking. I'm out the window screaming. I love it."
Like never. It was one of the best feelings, like a memorable Teamster moment for me. Because again, we've said it, hundreds of times. We're family. So
absolutely,
when they want the family back in there to clean it up, the family go back in there, we'll clean it up. We're here when you want to reach out, call. If not, we'll be across the street. We'll still be here. We ain't going anywhere.
With that being said, too, to talk about the company a little bit for anybody listening, so you don't, we're not just talking out our asses here. Something that actually Gabe told me, which I was surprised. Gabe's been doing this, he said, for 10 years. I asked him, I go, is this, a regular thing? And he said, in his 10 years, there's only been 5 companies that they've ever had to strike, and we're 2 of them. Break those 2 of them. So that gives you a little insight to how they don't care. And, other companies that you've sat with, I'm sure maybe it was a little back and forth, which it should be. It's negotiations. But our company has been in trouble now 2 times out of 10 years.
I'll never forget when the last time we had to do this, which is a shame that we have to say that. Sean O'Brien, the president of the International, like he's it. He walked our strike line with us, and he had a very passionate speech when he spoke to us, and he said, "Listen, I know these are hard conversations across the table, and so forth. Like, guys got to stick together." And Pretty much, he goes, "You do it once, you probably will never have to do it again. They'll get the point." And here we are again. And I believe that. Like, this just shows you this is a company that they don't care. They're not willing to learn. Because I truly thought too, the last time that this had to happen, sadly, I thought we would never have to do it again.
They weren't expecting it. They weren't. There was a sense of there's no way they're going to do it. So that's why I thought the same thing. I didn't think we were going to be here again. I did not think this was
I
gonna
was
happen.
optimistic. And Brian knew it.
No, I
To some degree. Towards the end.
No, I
there.
mean the fact is we all were worried about it.
Yeah, it was always on our mind.
It was always a worry in the back of your head, but we kept thinking this isn't going to happen. They're not going to do it. So it is what it is. I think that we'll persevere here. We're going to win, and we're going to do what we need to do, and Breakthrough will see the light, or we'll make them see the light, and it will happen. So
absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening once again. This is Garage Mind. I had Del Schaefer and Brian Hill, and maybe we'll do another one after this. But we just want a contract, and we hope we're blue collar people. We want to go back to work, but we do have the support we need, and I wanted to thank everybody for that from the hall and Del yourself, and we have good leadership. Thank you to Brian and Eddie and Juan and Gabe for getting us this far.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about Gabe that much.
Yeah, Gabe does a lot, man. I actually just saw him on the way in, and I said, "You get some sleep?" He said 5 hours. I said, "Well, that's good for you. That's a lot of sleep." And a lot of you guys, I'm sure you've used to that. And it sucks that here we are again, but we'll get through it. Thanks to the hall and the IBT, and I want to give a big shout out to them as well. Because without people like that, without unions and IBTs and people like Gabe walking by, love that guy.
Gabe.
Blue collar people like us don't have any hope, and without people like you guys, we do mean nothing, and we have no support.
Well, I could tell you that the thing about Gabe is he's done this industry for, I mean, as far as me delivering boxes for UPS, I don't know anything about the liquor industry. When I sit down to begin with, I'm not going to tell you I could deliver a case of liquor because I don't know if I could.
I think it'd be great.
But I know that. But I know how you do it now because I had to listen to it.
That and pallets. We never want to talk about pallets again.
He knows a lot about our industry because we had to explain it very thoroughly to them what we do, because apparently a box is just a box, and that's all we do.
Yeah.
They had to explain. But like you said, Gabe, big shout out to Gabe as well, because
Yes.
He had 40 plus years, 30 plus years in this industry?
Oh, Gabe, how
30.
long were you here?
Gabe, how long you had in this industry?
Gabe, how long you got in the industry?
24 years. And, he sits across the table to guys who have, what have they been in this industry? 4 years?
Maybe.
Not even? Maybe that. Some of them very brand new. Used to work for some food, maybe. Not the same industry. I used to do beer before I did this, and that's not even the same. And this is, the wine and spirits is a very different industry. Coming from somebody with all that knowledge, Brian as well, and they think they know better. So here we are. They knew better. So thank you guys for listening again. I'm Tony as always. Brian and Del, thank you guys. We'll get through this. We're gonna get what we want. Thank you guys. Peace. Oh boy.
My brothers, I say that I love them, but I don't swing that way. The man them celebrity the trap still running on Christmas Day.
A fire, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's fucking go. making a fake ass phone call?